Welcome, brave souls, to a journey into the unknown. Tomino'S Hell, a cursed poem said to bring misfortune, madness, or worse to those who dare to read it aloud. Is it merely a legend, or is there something truly sinister hidden within these verses? Join us as we delve deep into the origins, the myths, and the chilling stories of those who have encountered Tomino'S Hell. Are you ready to face the darkness? Subscribe and hit the bell icon to uncover the horrors that await.
Tomino'S Hell. There exists a poem that you must not read out loud. That poem is called Tomino'S Hell. This poem is the work of Seiju Yeso, a popular poet who worked on children's nursery rhymes and popular song lyrics. The poem is recorded in the poetry collection Saken. If you read it out loud, you will meet with misfortune. In reality, people have claimed to feel ill whilst reading this poem, so I recommend those who are weak to self-suggestion to read the poem silently. I will leave it up to you how you perceive the poem itself. The elder sister vomits blood, younger sisters breathing fire, while sweet little Tomino just spits up the jewels. All alone does Tomino go falling into that hell, a hell of utter darkness, without even flowers. Is Tomino's big sister the one who whips him? The purpose of the scourging hangs dark in his mind, lashing and thrashing him, but never quite shattering. One sure path to Avicii, the eternal hell. Into that blackest of hells guide him now. I pray to the golden sheep, to the nightingale. How much did he put in that leather pouch to prepare for his trek to the eternal hell? Spring is coming to the valley, to the wood, to the spiraling chasms of the blackest hell. The nightingale in her cage, the sheep aboard the wagon, and tears well up in the eyes of sweet little Tomino. Sing, O nightingale. In the vast, misty forest he screams he only misses his little sister. His wailing desperation echoes throughout hell. A fox peony opens its golden petals. Down past the 7 mountains and 7 rivers of hell, the solitary journey of sweet little Tomino. If in this hell they are found, may they then come to me, please, those sharp spikes of punishment from Needle Mountain. Not just on some empty whim is flesh pierced with blood-red pins. They serve as hellish signposts for sweet little Tomino. Tomino'S Hell, or Tomino no Jigaku, was written by poet Seiju Yeso in the 1919 poetry collection Saken. He was 26 at the time. On the surface, the poem is about a person named Tomino and their journey through hell. It's said that if you read the poem out loud, then you will either die or suffer from a great catastrophe. In 1983, a director by the name of Terayama Shuji made a film based on the poem and later died, which was how rumors of the poem being cursed first came about. But why is the poem cursed? Who is Tomino and why is he or she in hell? Even for Japanese speakers, the true meaning behind Tomino'S Hell can be difficult to understand. There are countless blog entries and forum posts where readers ask others what the poem means, and if any of them have been brave enough to read it out loud. There are several interpretations, and it's up to the reader to decide for themselves what the poem means to them. I've included the Japanese lyrics in Romaji above to go with my original translation, as I found most of the available English translations on the internet to be lacking. There appears to be a lot of misleading information about this particular legend in English, so let's take a closer look at what's going on. At face level, this is a poem about Tomino traveling through hell. Who is Tomino? The gender is never mentioned in Japanese, nor is Tomino a common name particular to boys or girls. It can be deduced from the poem that Tomino is a male, however, as expressed by his love for his younger sister. There's more, but I'll get to that in a moment. The poem begins by letting the reader know that Tomino has thrown up his tama. This is the first important point. The kanji used in the poem are the characters for treasure. The reading given for those kanji, however, is tama, expresses balls or beads. This is on purpose, as it's meant to draw a parallel to tamashii, one's spirit. Tomino has thrown up his spirit. He has lost his soul, and thus he begins his descent into hell. Yet Tomino is not traveling through hell. Not literally, anyway. It is largely believed that the poem is a metaphor for war. His older sister spits up blood. She is passionately encouraging him to fight for their country and win the war. His younger sister spits up fire. She is encouraging him in her own innocent way as he sets out. Then Tomino spits up his tama. He is presenting his life for the cause. The poem repeatedly refers to Tomino as cute, letting the reader know this is only a young man, still innocent himself when he sets out. Much of the imagery presented throughout the rest of the poem draws allusions to the battlefield and the horrors present within. He sees the buttercups, those flowers that often grow between the rice fields back home. The poem mentions him hitting and beating and yet not striking at all, reminding us of the fruitlessness of it all. He cries for his younger sister, and as he travels through the 7 valleys of hell to reach the last, the 8th and most painful, he suffers more and more. Something that gets lost in translation is the last few lines. The red pins signify the senenbari that soldiers used to wear into war. This was a piece of white cloth, usually a meter long, that was sewn with 1,000 red stitches from 1,000 different women. Different patterns and slogans could be sewn in, and the soldiers wore them as good luck and a sign of devotion to the women they left behind. They were supposed to give the wearer courage, good luck, and immunity from injury. These were generally made by the soldier's family, their mothers, sisters, girlfriends, or wives. These women would traditionally stand near temples, stations, or other busy areas of town and ask passing women to sew a single stitch, although in later periods, such as World War II, these were made en masse by thousands of women at once and then posted to soldiers already at war. So this senenbari is not just a sign of good luck, it's also supposed to be an identifying mark, a mejirishi. Should Tomino die on the battlefield, they can identify him by his senenbari and return him to his family. The final lines mention that his senenbari does not stand out, however, and it's left to the reader to imagine why. If Tomino is unable to be identified, that means first of all that he has likely died in battle, and secondly that he won't be returned to his family. Suddenly the poem takes on an entirely different meaning, one even scarier than the literal reading of traversing through hell.